Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and today I am incredibly excited to be part of an official announcement, a collaboration between 2K Games and LEGO for LEGO 2K Drive, which is a massive multiplayer LEGO customization and racing game coming out very, very soon. Now, 2K Games actually invited Duck Bricks to their pre-launch event, which was a really special event. We got to be able to tour the headquarters and be able to interview designers and video game developers and whatnot, which was a really cool experience for my buddy Jake because I was out of town. So Jake, if you don't know, he's been a collaborator on many of our videos before. We do a lot of Ninjago card games and building live streams. Thankfully, he was able to go to this event, so he went over to represent Duck Bricks, came back with a ton of amazing information about this brand new LEGO game, and today we're gonna sit down and kind of do the launch together. Well, he'll share to me some of the insights he learned while visiting 2K Games headquarters in California, and I'll be able to share all of the LEGO details of this brand new racing game with you. And without further ado, let's go. So what exactly is LEGO 2K Drive? It is described as the ultimate AAA driving adventure game. Visual Concepts in 2K evolved the iconic LEGO experience with a vast open world where you can build any vehicle, drive anywhere, and become a LEGO racing legend. It features a story in the vast open world. The world is called Bricklandia. There are multiple unique biome regions as they compete in a series of charismatic rivals with hopes of one day winning the coveted Sky Cup trophy. In this game, you basically can choose how you want to play. The open world is full of racing, minigames, challenges, collectibles, things to destroy, and well-known vehicles from themes like City, Creator, Speed Champions, and more. Racing is fast-paced, off-the-wall. It is a huge battle experience as you race against a broad range of tracks while taking advantage of unique power-up abilities that can transform your players standing in the race with the touch of a button. The coolest thing to me personally is the customization feature. It introduces a diverse customization system that allows players to build their own vehicles to suit their tastes, with over 1,000 unique LEGO elements to use over the course of your adventure, in addition to a wealth of color designs, stickers, flares, and more. What the best part is that it is both solo and co-op, where you can play with other people or by yourself, where you can play online multiplayer or local, with local two-person split screen or match online with other people of similar skill levels. Lastly, there are some other additional details. If you pre-order it, you will receive the Aqua Dirt Racer Pack, so just some additional items that you can get. It is not really exactly clear what exactly that means, but you get an Aqua Dirt Racer street car, off-road car, and boat, so that's probably a themed type of vehicle. The official release date is May 19th, 2023, and do stay tuned to the channel for that because there will be a lot of exciting giveaways where a lot of you in the comments below can actually have the chance to win this game for free. However, normally it will cost $60 on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch, $70 for PS5 and Xbox Series XS. The Awesome Edition costs $100, and the Awesome Rivals Edition costs $120? Honestly, I think that's a little bit high for a LEGO game in particular. I know that previous TT games have been around the same price, but this feels even more expensive than those, and to be honest, I'm not really sure who the market is for this. I definitely know that there's going to be a lot of hardcore LEGO fans wanting to play this, definitely a lot of kids as well. Seems to be priced outside of the general realm of reasonability for most kids playing, so I'm guessing maybe this is more for teens or adults, but I'm really curious to see exactly how difficult the gameplay gets as it goes along, and we'll be talking about that later on in the video. The cool thing is that with every purchase of the physical Awesome Edition, and I assume the same goes for the Awesome Rivals Edition, don't really know what the difference is between those. I assume there's a lot of in-game content as well, but you do get a physical polybag of the Aquadirt vehicle. This is a 3-in-1 build, which can be assembled in street, off-road, or water forms, which you can see right here. It looks like the 2K logo on the cheese slope there is printed, which should be a nice exclusive piece. Personally, I think I still would have preferred a minifigure because those are always just a little bit more interesting than builds to display, but I do understand that for a racing game, it makes sense to give us a 3-in-1 creator-style vehicle, so I like it for what it is. The maximum number of players online is 6, so you can get into a race of 6 people, but you can get anywhere between 1 to 6, depending on how many you want to do, and of course, for local co-op, you can do split screen 1v1. It is an open-world driving game, publisher 2K, and without further ado, I think it's time we just jump right in to the experience that both myself and my buddy Jake had while actually being able to experience this game. A few weeks ago, 2K Games reached out to Duckbricks to ask if they could fly us out to their headquarters in California to try out LEGO 2K Drive early. Unfortunately, I have been away for work for a while. However, I was able to send my good buddy Jake and frequent collaborator with the channel to go in my stead, and he had an incredible experience playtesting the new LEGO game at 2K headquarters in person. You might know Jake from some of our other LEGO challenge videos, like speed building, blind building, or even playing the LEGO Ninjago card game together. He is a big LEGO fan and is a frequent collaborator with the channel, so it made perfect sense to send him over to check this out. Once he got to San Francisco, Jake was able to meet up with a ton of other LEGO content creators from YouTube, Twitch, and even previous LEGO Masters winners, and took a shuttle to their headquarters in Novato. After he was given a bunch of swag and food, they were let loose at the game. So right from the opening cutscene, this game is super lighthearted and funny, in the style but not the universe of the LEGO movie. The main antagonist, Shadow Z, introduces himself as the game's villain right at the start, and every cutscene is full of jokes. The game is set in its own universe, but with heavy nods to the LEGO movie universe. For instance, the announcers are from the quote-unquote awesome news network. They know what they're doing, they probably just didn't have the rights to make it explicitly the LEGO movie world. We really enjoyed the feel of the game, and I think it'll make for a really fun and lighthearted playing experience. After the opening cutscenes, you get right into the driving in a tutorial world, a fun environment in which newer players can learn to drive. The driving is actually really smooth and intuitive. The control scheme is fairly similar to Mario Kart, which is really the only racing game that we've ever played between each other, with drifting, boosting, and items that you can pick up. As you drive between the road, water, and off-road sections, your vehicle automatically changes back and forth between your selected race car, off-road vehicle, or boat. The customization here is super cool, and we'll cover it in more depth in the second half of the video. Running into LEGO objects and watching them break is super fun, as is seeing your own car take damage over time when you crash into walls and other cars. The haptic feedback does a lot to immerse you in the driving. Like many open world games, you can pick up quests and complete them in exchange for different kinds of rewards, including experience points, which can help you level up and unlock new quests and zones of the game. After you complete the tutorial zone, you advance to Big Butte, the first of a few large biomes, and let me tell you, these things are large. After 45 minutes in this area, the main menu said we were just 2% complete with that zone. There are a ton of quests available from a ton of different characters, and it seems like doing a 100% complete run of the game would take quite a long time. The quests also seem to have a bunch of variety. I was honestly expecting everything to be driving around a track, but they actually really mixed up different styles of game types. In addition to track races, we also saw item collection, different types of time trials, and jumping races, as well as a Where's Waldo style searching quest. We've only played the game for a little bit, but the gameplay felt honestly really expansive and deep. Beyond the quests, it was just a ton of fun to literally just drive around in this world. Crashing into LEGO objects and watching them break was a blast, and boosting up walls and trying to reach places that look off limits but actually aren't is also a lot of fun. We immediately wanted to try to get around natural barriers and land on roofs and other hard to reach spots, which is something actually built into the game. It's honestly really impressive how fun just driving around in the world was, and that's not something I've seen or experienced in many other games, especially LEGO games where the driving sequences are oftentimes the worst parts of them. LEGO game vehicle driving physics definitely need work. Oh my goodness, I'm just trying to get, there we go. Next, several influencers got together and played the multiplayer mode for a while. There are definitely some great party game modes which would be a blast to play split screen. Since we were playing on separate devices, it kind of felt the same as playing single player, but it's still a really fun game. The far and away winner of the multiplayer section was the red light green light game, which was definitely modeled after Squid Game. Your car basically explodes if you're driving when the light turns red, and the gang had an absolutely infuriating time trying to race each other to the finish line without being caught.
And, the racing was actually my favorite part, ironically, but it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to see what people say.
Playing this game with 5 other people was definitely the most fun that we had during the sneak peek. We also got a while to play in the cup racing mode, which seemed like all the main quest track races in each zone put back to back. There were a few different cups to choose from, and they seemed to correspond to the different zones in the open world mode. We'd been having a pretty easy time in the open world quests, so we selected the highest difficulty and went for one of the later game cup series. After coming in second, that was maybe a little bit worrying. We're not really that experienced with racing games, and while the game wasn't a cakewalk, I don't imagine that experienced racing fans would have any difficulty with this whatsoever. It is, again, also a game that is primarily marketed towards kids, so I guess it is supposed to be a little bit easier, but there is a potential that beating even the hardest modes just takes a few hours of experience with the game. That being said, we have not gone up against Phantom Z yet, who was the main villain, and we should have more information about how that actually works soon. So that basically covers the main game modes: open world single player and multiplayer plus the Cup series. Now, let's talk about vehicle customization, which I think is the game's coolest feature and a clear advantage over the other racing games. As previously mentioned, you have one equipped car, boat, and off-road vehicle at any time. When you drive into different zones, you automatically switch to your appropriate equipped vehicle. You can unlock different preset vehicles as you advance through the game, but what really is super cool about this is that you can build literally any vehicle you can imagine in the garage mode and equip it throughout the game. For experienced LEGO digital builders, they have basically taken something like Studio, put it into a video game. There are over 1,000 different pieces. There's bricks, Technic pieces, they even have rotation, you can angle things however you want them to. It's really exciting because it feels like designing a LEGO model in Studio or a digital building software, but then the physics actually impact how it's built. If you don't interlock bricks or if you build things a certain way, your car will react differently when on quest than if you had built it well and solidly, and it's actually really cool how they have put in a crazy physics engine to be able to impact your vehicle throughout the game. So basically, the first thing we wanted to try was to build a car that was optimized for one particular quest. There was one that was a robot defense game, which was a lot of fun, but it was annoying how small the off-road vehicle had been, since we couldn't really destroy that many robots at a time. So we went in and immediately selected the biggest ATV chassis we could and made a gigantic bumper at the front that was as wide as it possibly could be. After going back over to the robot defense quest, it was a lot easier. The wider vehicles swept all the aliens out of the way. Some of the vehicle stats, like weight, are actually based on the customized components, so you can really design different vehicles for different purposes. And overall, the customization is incredibly powerful. You can design pretty much anything, and I personally am really excited to make some cars myself and drive them around in-game, especially because this was a really short playtesting session, and I haven't even gotten to play it myself. This is all just talking to Jake and figuring out stuff from his end. Now, I'd like to get ahead of some false rumors and gossip here before people start getting in serious fights. Yes, it has been confirmed that there is a chicken car that features prominently both in-game and across several pieces of promotional material. However, I just want to let it be known, ducks and chickens are not natural enemies. Yes, it is silly to choose an inferior bird for the cover art of your game, but LEGO 2K Drive is not making a personal attack against this channel by displaying their bad and poorly chosen preferences. In fact, this game will provide the perfect environment for us to build a far superior duck car and demonstrate which bird is best at being a race car. I, for one, am so excited to see my Duckmobile absolutely demolish whatever pre-made chicken vehicle that they are advertising. And with that, that's all we know so far about LEGO 2K Drive. It seems like a really fun game. From our very limited experience playtesting it, it was a ton of fun, and we are excited to show you so much more on stream in the future. In fact, we have a major game giveaway for the Duckbricks channel once the game launches, and we'll of course be streaming the game on Twitch. So let me know in the comments what do you think of the gameplay, and of course happy to answer any questions you may have.
Alright, and with that we have summed up our first look at LEGO 2K Drive. This is a very exciting game. I personally cannot wait to play it, and I will actually have some special little codes for you, the viewers, to be given away. So if you are interested in playing this game, comment down below, and I will be randomly picking a few commenters. I'm not quite sure how many codes I'm getting right now, but for however many I get, I will be randomly picking people who comment down below to get a free code. So if you're interested in playing this and want to get the game for free, just leave a comment, tell me how you're excited about the game, and maybe talk a little bit about the car that you plan to make in it, and then I'll be randomly selecting comments and sending out codes to those who win. And so without further ado, we have summed up this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Duckbricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming away very soon. Thanks so much, and check out our Twitch if you want to see LEGO live streams, such as setting up a city, doing LEGO builds, playing LEGO games, all sorts of fun stuff there. So thank you all so much, and bye for now.